Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. Welcome to the channel where I share art journaling and junk journaling, projects, and ideas. So today I'm going to share some of the pages that I have worked on for Junk Journal January. A new binding for me, it's called a slip knot binding. How I put together some of these arty pages and just some fun chill out time journaling together. So for Junk Journal January, I would love to know if you are joining in. Meg over at Meg Journals has all of these fun prompts, and I got going today with a lot of fun with paint, buttons, a little bit of a pair of old blue jeans that have now been cut into pieces and made into a journal, and really learned a new technique for me, which is this slip knot binding. So I'm going to share all of that in today's video, and I would love to hear what you're enjoying in your junk journaling and how Junk Journal January is going for you as well. So the first thing is I used a lot of supplies that I dug out of my stash, and then some book text, a lot of paint, glue sticks, and I guess the most important supply was the sketchbook paper on the bottom right. That's what I made the journal signatures from. So for Junk Journal January, I decided to get into these painted papers. I shopped my stash a lot, and I'm going to show you how to stack these, how to make the slip knot binding. Really simple. I found there were definitely some tips I learned along the way, and I'll share those. And also I will share the original video where I saw this technique. It was made by Martha on her channel, and I'll link that video below. So the first thing is to reinforce your paper with a little bit of medical tape. So that's something I'll come back to again in a minute. And the second thing is to kind of just splash around paints or use backdrop paper if you're using inks and paints as your pages. I found that I really like this little splash of watercolor, and then I just started splattering things. And again, this is pretty lightweight paper, so it was very important, I think, to reinforce it with some sort of tape. I think Martha used washi tape, and I decided to use medical tape. Cutting this in half to make the signatures, and I stacked 6 to make this journal. I'm going to demo on 2 today, the slip knot binding. Okay, let's move in a little bit closer. So I don't have exact measurements here. I eyeballed 2 different holes, little ways up from the top, little ways up from the bottom, through the medical tape. I used my awl. You could use a small hole punch if you want. And so sorry, no exact measurements here for that, friends, but you can see that I'm not going too far up in either direction. Just want it a little ways so that we're obviously not going to rip through the paper. And again, reinforced with that medical tape. We have a local pharmacy area like a CVS or a Walgreens or something. That's where I pick up medical tape. And here's the awl, just to show you again. Sometimes you do have to make the holes a little bit bigger. And this is the waxed linen, which ended up being my preference. If I were to make a bigger journal, I would definitely use this. It's still a little tricky getting through the holes. I tried to get both of them in at the same time, but as you can see, I was not always able to do that. And then pulling it down so that you have a little loop on the top, and you pull the 2 strands through the middle. And it's as easy as that. Then you're simply stacking. Oh yes, I did a lot of trimming, by the way. You're simply stacking the next one on top of the next one and so forth, and then tying them off at the end. So I found this made a cute little journal. Again, love the waxed linen thread. I picked that up on Amazon. It's sturdier, it's stiffer. The washi tape, I did put a little bit of, not washi tape, sorry, embroidery floss. I put a little bit of clear tape on the ends. You'll sort of see that in the far right corner of the video. And that way I was able to get it through the holes, but really prefer this wax linen. And I don't think it matters if you go down through the top or up through the bottom. I actually think I may have been inconsistent and done a little bit of both. I should have paid more attention to that, but overall it came out just fine. I stacked 6, one on top of the other, so that each of the 6 folded pages gave me 4 sides. So the journal really has 24 pages to work with. And I think it's really cute. I like this new binding. The journal, again, is approximately 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So it's about an 8 by 11 piece of paper, the sketchbook paper. So now on to some fun buttons. Again, shopping my stash. I had these old buttons, and I thought, since I have this pretty blue embroidery floss, I might as well do a little bit of a dangle. And all I simply did was, again, using the clear tape, kind of use that as a needle to put beads and buttons in. Oh, and also, by the way, I'm going to jump in for a moment with prompt 2, which is making a really easy envelope. So of course, all of this is still prompt 1, all of the buttons and those things. And then prompt 2 is this easy envelope. So let me get going with this for a minute. I have this beautiful origami paper by the artist Karen Elaine. I love her work. Isn't that pretty? And I am doing the simplest envelope of all, folding in all of the corners into triangles to make a little square envelope. That's it. And then to secure it, I think I'm going to use either stickers or washi tape or glue some sort of embellishment down to hold all of those together. Okay, back to the buttons and the cover. A little bit of squirrel there, but I was looking at that pretty paper, and when you have pretty paper on your desk, you know how it goes, friends. You have to go over and play with it for a minute. So for the buttons, again, I used very easy method of weaving through using the clear tape as a needle of sorts. And then I had some Dollar Tree beads, those pretty wooden beads. And my only thought was to sort of keep this journal in the blues and the greens mostly, with a pop of color a little bit. I love yellow, as you might notice with my bright Jelly Bean Studio yellow banners and everything. And simply thread them through. Later, I did take a little bit of Fabri-Tac, there we go, on the left, and add just a touch of glue along the way so that the buttons didn't slip off and slip around too much. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. And now I'm digging into the little bin. This is my papers that I sort of collect in a box top. It's all the possible papers and goodies that I might use in the journal. And I tend to, across the week, just put things in packaging, stickers, washi tape, book text like I have here. I love this. This is, I think, from a children's dictionary. And I thought before I got into putting down prompt to, oh, here we go. I just threw in the the magazine. Actually, that's a Costco catalog for some gluing. There we are. Get that down. And yeah, I love book text, dictionary pages. So I threw some of those into the bin, some atlases, almanacs, and I think that will start my background. I'm speeding this up a little, as you can tell, so you don't have to sit through all of the gluing and all of that, but I now have my 4 corners folded in. A little bit crooked there. That's all right. And what I decided to do was glue stick down the top triangle so that it made more of a pocket envelope. And I'm going to go for it with this washi tape. I love that color. To tack down the rest of the envelope there. Isn't that sweet origami paper? I think it's Yasutamo that Karen Elaine works for as an artist, and I just love that. All right, trim that up a little bit. That will hold those down. Gonna add some Fabri-Tac, and this is actually a little snippet of text from that Costco catalog. Junk mail coming in the mailbox the other day, so I pulled that out. And I think this corner does need a little bit more help there, so we'll glue that down. Okay, well that'll be a great pocket. I love having a pocket in the front of my journals. So we have now accomplished Junk Journal January prompts 1 and 2, cover, and envelope. And I'm going to quickly move on to 3 and 4. So this is a really easy method to make your own tickets. Take a piece of any paper that you want. I'm continuing with this book text. And then just cut out a little curve, kind of a C shape. And there you have it. You have your own little tickets. I'm not exactly sure how to use these tickets yet. They may in fact end up in this pocket, but I made them. I find that a lot. Do you find in your journaling some things right away I'm ready to jump in and glue them down and I have an idea, and other things, especially when it comes to these prompts, I know I need tickets, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use them. And again, with my journaling, I don't journal every single day. So sometimes I'm going to just combine the prompts and I'll combine them on multiple pages, because in this particular journal, I have 24 pages. Well, actually 22, right? Because I have a front cover and a back cover to work with. So there'll definitely be a lot of combining. And if I don't use the tickets right away on this page, then I'll stash them away in that little envelope and use them later. That's what I love about these journal challenges. And I know I've done Meg's challenges before. It's do it your way, you do you. The time that you have, the supplies that you have. And I love that. I think that's what makes it really fun. So more pretty watercolor splashes. Gonna let that dry for a couple minutes. And we're just about on the home stretch. So I have more fun kid art supplies, these dot markers, and I am gonna go for the next prompt, which is outline. I did a little testing out on the sketchbook paper with the daubers. That's a pretty color. I like that a lot. And I think I'm going to go in with the dots and outline maybe the border or some of this lighthouse. I would like a pop of the yellow. Get it around this January a little bit. Paint and splashing it around in these daubers. Very relaxing. For me, junk journaling is a lot of self-care. A lot of experimenting. I like how that blue-green is picked up in Karen Elaine's origami paper. I'm not sure if this ink moves a little. I'm going to try to add a little bit of paint and make it less polka dotty around this border or outline. Tone it down just a little bit. Then I'll let it dry and we will see what happens. So I think this is the home stretch for me in this video. Please leave a comment below what you're enjoying in your journaling. I'm going to get more into the blue jeans that I cut up into little hearts, I think, in the next video or two. And figure out what to do with these tickets, friends. So happy Junk Journal January to you. Thanks for stopping by to journal together. I look forward to more junk journaling with you in January, and happy creating to you.